told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, sitting right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted you've been gifted with the evil. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Yo.
Hello. Almost over. There it goes. If I don't hurry, though, it'll start repeating the list. There we go. How you doing, man? Tim is out of action. I don't know. Did I? Yeah, I guess I did. I didn't know how long that playlist was going to last. I had to test it, though. Going for a cleaner soundtrack. I found out this afternoon that the kids are starting to discover the time-lapse sketching. So, yeah. What's a coom? I don't even know what a coom is. I'm going to have to Google that stuff. Coom. I don't know why I can't hear anything. Something is terribly wrong here. Let me see. What's going on here? Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait. He's getting some copy. That's why I can't hear him. I'm going to paste it, though.
I am back with my coffee.
Oh, there we go. I can hear. I got copy, too, man.
Yeah.
We're like just the party hard crowd tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I wasn't really completely mad at Captain Infinity, but I had to kind of jump on the show before he closed to have a kind of lay it out on the line about how I felt about him, like kind of joking around saying my book was poorly created or poorly drawn or something.
Poorly drawn?
Melvin's come a long way, so I took it.
I'm kind of surprised that somebody would say that, though. The art that you've been showing is like
killer. Sid.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he would get that.
Well, I think he was kind of joking around, and some people, when they say stuff like that, they haven't really seen as much. It's funny, I tweet all the time to the point where I get kind of locked out of my account of Twitter temporarily.
Well, when you posted that thing about being limited, if they think that you're spamming, that's what they'll do. They'll limit your reach, which is it's a bitch move, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you the truth. Ever since I got the blue check mark, I haven't had any problems. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, I might consider doing that. So I'm kind of taking it easier for a while on the whole Twitter thing.
The only thing I've noticed on Twitter is you can't endorse anything violent, and you want to avoid getting too nasty in your comments, like particularly with the alphabet people. They get real upset and they will flag you with a brigade.
Yeah, I know.
Not that you want to back down to them, but you don't want to be particularly say anything too sadistic or
you don't want to be
evil
put under. Yeah. So anyway, I went on there. I let him pretty much know that honestly, I'm not the world's best writer.
Wait a minute. Whoa. So you're not the world's best writer?
Jeez, I would have never figured that out.
Okay, you can.
No, that's not fair. Because I always tell myself I'm the best at everything, even when I'm not, even when I know I'm not. Because
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
it's
okay.
like,
let me clarify. I'm not the world's best writer, but I am getting better. When I did,
if I was you, I'd be careful. I'd say like you're the top 3.
no, that'd be lying.
How do you know? No, it's all objective.
Right. I guess it would be objective. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe so. But my point is,
You mean subjective?
I know. I was about to correct myself, and I was like, no, let Tim finish.
so my point is, I told him, because technically, I what I have is ideas. I have a lot of ideas, and I already know I can visualize the stories, but grammar is sometimes something I'm not very good with, admittedly. So I do really kind of lean on heavy on my whoever's editing the book and trust their opinion. Like, okay, this, what are you doing?
Who?
You.
So you're like the kids that Christopher's working with.
No, actually,
They have
the
lots
kids
of
I'm
ideas.
working with
Well,
are
I have
way,
more to say about that, but
no, the kids I'm working with are.
I'm teasing
It's
you.
so
Chris,
amazing
yeah.
because they
I
don't know
know.
how to put it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they're not even sure how to start. Like, they can't even understand the
yeah.
concept of a splash page.
And I have, I already can visualize a story. It's just that, like I said, grammar is not my strong suit. I do try. I actually have to stop and kind of use Google to help me if I can't think of how to spell a word properly. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Google, I'll let Google help me. I'll type it.
Okay, wait. I gotta ask, and you don't have to get too deep into this.
Right.
But do you use a word processor or anything with an auto spell check?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The red squiggly lines, and I
Grammarly?
use it. I tried that, but it doesn't work well with my laptop.
Okay. The only thing I don't like about Grammarly is if it starts changing what you wrote, then it's like, wait a minute, I'm the writer, not you. But sometimes it can help with like punctuation and stuff. And spelling, It's funny you mentioned Google because I get the auto check. But like if it underlines it, I can right click it and like see the suggestion and see if it's like like
that's what
I
I
always
do.
want to change. Go ahead.
Yeah, I use that, and I've been reading a lot more. I actually started reading that Conan book I had.
Yeah.
But basically what I said, and I understand he was just kidding around, but he's very harsh with his criticisms, but that's just who he is. I said, I worked really hard to get where I am here. When I first actually started in this sphere, people were telling me I'd never make a book.
Yeah, I was there. I was like, Tim, you'll never do it. I was like, you're a loser. And then you proved me wrong.
No, that was not you, dude. It was.
I'm just trying to play a role, my friend.
Well, don't stop playing. Anyway, so I mean, I think it was mostly anybody who was like associated with Red Valkyrie. I don't have any problems with her anymore, but she doesn't say anything to me anymore. I used to be a fan of hers, and now I don't care about her.
Who's that?
Red Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. I've heard the name, but
because she gave me advice, and I took some of it, but then she turns around and tells everybody that I didn't. So there was that thing. That's a long time ago. But I literally would wake up to people saying, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. The artwork to your book's terrible, and you should just give up." I woke up to a lot of that. And after I made my first book and even my second book, that stuff kind of went away.
Yeah, well, after you start doing it, it's like people can't keep saying you'll never do it, right?
Yeah, and this is before we knew what we knew about Vic, but I used to have this thing about like the reason why I didn't I didn't really plan Melvin one very well. I just did it. Because I come from a long line of procrastinators, and the way you break that is you just do it. You Yeah, you don't talk about it. You don't.
Is by
You
doing.
just. So Melvin one was kind of like I always call it a run and gun operation. In other words, you do it as you're going along.
That's how Hero Shack started. Poor Diana, like because Amazon made it so easy for me to self-publish, she was
Yeah.
suddenly faced with me going, "Hey, look, I got comics. I'm going to go to a show and sell."
Wow.
It was too easy
Yeah.
for me to get
So,
into. I have a graphic arts background, so I fell right into it,
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, she didn't have a choice. I was making books all of a sudden.
I think the thing that kind of lit that fuse is somebody told me that I would never make it in comics. Because I mean the original Melvin #1 that no one can find anymore, that probably like 9 people in the world have. It was like like it was on Lulu.com, which is like a you basically pay it and then they print on demand.
I remember Lulu. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, but then they changed the format, so it's no longer available. So I ended up having to redo the whole book. But what I did was somebody told me I would never make it in comics, and Sherwin had done like a Melvin drawing 2 years prior. And I basically kind of messaged him one day and said, "You're drawing a comic book. Let's do this." And he's just such a polite, dude. He's like, "Yes, sir." But that's how that because yeah. Imagine somebody from the Philippines just saying, "Yes, sir."
Yep. Yep.
So
So he did it, right?
well, that's
Yeah, we did Melvin one, and we got it together. The problem was his for some reason he's scanning at a low DPI. So my friend Jonathan had to help enhance the pages so we could print the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you see that was like there's just it was a struggle just to get that book done.
Yeah, so you had to learn some of the graphic arts stuff, which is exactly like I already knew that stuff because I was in graphic arts for so long.
Right.
But like that's one of those stumbling blocks that a lot of people face that kind of I got to laugh at. I was like, oh, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Melvin 1, and then I decided that Melvin 2 had to be better than every issue has to get better. It has to be better than the previous. And I stupidly thought, well, Vic did such a great job with the cover for Melvin 1. Certainly he'd be so I approached him, and we're knocking out pages, and then of course you know what happened. You were there.
Well, anytime you threw any money, well, the way it was, anytime you threw him money, he'd say, "Yep, I can do it. Come on, let's do it." And he'd stoke that fire.
Yeah, but I was naive to think that. So anyway, there was that, and then I had to replace. Andy had to tell me 3 times, "You need to fire him. You need to fire him," and eventually I did.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Vic, in that regard, was just very bad. Yeah, you could see he was a pretty decent artist. Probably, well, definitely better than me.
Yeah.
Well, he had a lot of potential, and he never quite got past that bar that he first showed.
Oh yeah, but we know why now.
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
I think it had a lot to do with it.
It was just bad. Pardon?
I think it might have had a lot to do with it. He was trying to keep a low profile.
Yeah, getting on YouTube and trying to make your own comic is not keeping a low profile or trying to.
Yeah, I didn't say he was doing a very good job. I just think he was trying to.
Yeah, he didn't use his real name. And what's funny? I'm such a naive son of a gun.
Well, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
When I saw his name, though, I thought, wow, he was named Victor King. That's so cool. His parents were very cool because then it's Vic King, Bite King, Vic King. Wow, that's so neato. And I thought somebody really thought about that when they named their kid, and then come to find out it was just a
alias.
A stage name, basically.
So it took like 3 times for Andy to convince me to fire him, and I've never fired anybody before, so that was like new. And then Sid was just amazing, so and then we went right into Melvin 3, and everything was great. So yeah, I've come a long
for
way.
Vic, I just think it's
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
You were
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
I was just saying he
somebody
had bad. Oh, sorry. Delay. Stupid delay.
yeah, Canada. Anyway, yeah, I get messages from people on Facebook saying, Melbourne's come a long way. So I'm very proud of all the hurdles I came across. I definitely earned where I am.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, Vic, his biggest problem was bad business practices. He did not know how to do business properly.
Nope.
And that's his problem
Well,
with
like
business.
that's like the best part of having my wife involved, because I also am a terrible businessman, and like I am so glad that she's there, because she prevents me from making so many mistakes. Like, you guys think I've had some screw ups in my time, but she's kept me from really bad ones, dude.
Oh yeah.
You're as far as I know, you're bad in wanting to give stuff away, and that could lead
Including my
you to
time, my art,
yes.
all my stuff I've offered at times, and she's like, she's good. She'll keep me from like throwing my stuff, like that birthday card.
Yeah.
She was so shocked that I did it for free. She was like, "Well, what rate did you charge?" And I'm like, "It was a birthday card for a kid. What do you mean?"
Well, see, in that case, I would agree with you on that one, Chris. Come on, it's a birthday card.
But I was going to say, yeah, you might be bad in wanting to give. Depending on how you look at it, giving stuff away for free. But you would be good if somebody paid you to do something, getting it in the mail for them. Right?
Well, yeah, because we actually really pride ourselves on that. If I tell you, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, I'll put my hand through the floor, to do it. It's like, here we go. All right. To a fault.
If you got money to, yeah, and that's great. But if you're given money to ship something, you're not going to spend it on something else and not ship it, right? Or give some excuse.
Right. Well, yeah, those are bad practices. If you're like, yeah, if I'm like, Rick, I'll sell you this original art. Send me $20 for shipping. And then you're like, hey, it's been a week and I didn't get a tracking number. What's up? I haven't been down to the post office yet. I'm getting on the horse tomorrow, and I'll go downtown into the saloon and get a stamp, because that's where they sell them in this town, and I'll send it your way. And then like another week goes by, and you're like, yeah, the horse broke his leg, so we had to shoot him. Haven't been downtown yet.
Apaches.
Yeah, but that was Vic's biggest problem, in my opinion. The bad business practices, and then sometimes not doing the artwork as fast as he should.
Well, and he's also
so has anybody watched any of Ethan Van Sciver tonight?
No.
So he had a guy, and I know I should know this name, but it's Nolan Graham.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And they were having a very interesting conversation.
What were they having a conversation about?
Well, it felt like Nolan was putting Ethan on the spot, and Ethan was taking it quite well, but he was saying, hey, listen, if you want to, fix comics, you got to do what's right. You got to do good. You got to get away from that demonic stuff. You got to get away from all this crazy stuff and start doing good comics. Yeah. He was like, if you're a Christian, you have to understand there's demonic forces out there, and like, you can't just hire them and make them queens of your lore. And like, he was talking about the Soskas in that sense, but he was really talking about, okay, comic creators, this is where the rubber hits the road. Are you going to write comics where it's about good, or are you just going to like wallow in the evil, and if you go back and watch it, because I'm sure it'll be, unless he privates it, but I doubt he will.
When did this come? Well, then again, that seems like this is where I kind of differ. It's like you're supposed to entertain.
Yeah, you differ. You're gonna be the contrarian, but it's just the way it's going. What's up, Captain?
Yeah. Well, I would just say it depends on what the guy meant by evil. Like, you have to have bad guys, and sometimes bad guys are really nasty.
Well, I don't think he was saying you can't have a mature comic. But if your hero is, Lucifer's third in command and he's just a misunderstood demon, then he's saying you've got problems. Like he was talking about books that are like nasty, not Melvin, but like, like devil books, shit like that.
Maybe like
You mean like Spawn?
No. I'm talking about some specific titles. Spawn might qualify. Actually, I don't know. He didn't mention Spawn though.
But well, everybody knows that Spawn is loosely based on.
What about The
Faust.
Demon by DC?
Well, it does raise an interesting point. I don't know. He didn't mention those, but it would be interesting to see what he says. But he was definitely coming out against like the demonic forces in comics today. And I was like, that's mad awesome. I just love hearing that. And he mentioned Jesus. He was talking about, actually, when he brought up the Soskas, he talked about the same thing we did a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, when we were saying, if you came to the Lord, it's usually not something you hide. You can't keep it quiet. You're telling everybody it's an event, it's life changing.
Didn't they tweet something like that?
They did. And, it's like, that's why I backed off of them. But the public is talking a lot about it. When I saw that, I said, well, it's in, God's not going to be mocked. If they're mocking God, it's going to come back and bite them. And it's just so happening that people are still, I guess, still learning about it. Like it's been something we've been aware about for a while now, but the general public, I think it's still coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been some surprise, and it's like,
okay. So like we were talking about Spawn. And like I said, Spawn is loosely based on Faust. And do you know the story of Faust?
No idea.
The guy sells his soul to the devil for like wishes or something.
Right. Okay, I remember that now.
So Spawn's kind of in a sense kind of the same. But he gets sent there by our government so they could have like this substance called psychoplasm, which is brought up in Spawn 16.
But no, wait, before you go on. Todd McFarlane is an atheist.
Well, I guess he is, but
no, he really is. He's a professed atheist. So go on.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's why he has no regard for it.
Yeah, right. So the idea is that Spawn makes a deal with a devil, not the devil, because he says, "Fine, I'll make your army. Just let me see my wife again." So this devil says, "Yeah, sure, fine." He sends him 5 years in the future. His wife's remarried. Has a kid that he couldn't give her. So it's a compelling story. Imagine being dead and all of a sudden you're alive again.
I read it in the beginning and then I don't remember when I tailed off.
In fact,
but I was fascinated by his art style.
Yeah. In fact, like you're not even in your own body. You dig up your own body. You can't even shape shift into you. You shape shift into a different person. So I don't know.
I won't. Go ahead, Tim.
I do know when he was preaching at his highest point, he said, if you're atheist or Satanist, then this isn't for you. But if you're Christian, you got to think about what you're doing. And I was getting the vibe that he was actually, I bet you if you had asked him, he would have said something about Spawn being, not a Christian comic.
Well, duh.
And this guy isn't an explicitly Christian creator. But I think he's a creator who's Christian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I kind of feel like he's using his religion to kind of push his own agenda in the comic books. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
No, I don't think so. Because I think there comes a point where people can be called like to do certain things with like, well, it's happened on the left where they basically took over the media to make their agenda big. It's only natural. Eventually, the Christians are going to go back at it because it's a pendulum. Like in the 80s and 90s, Christians had a lot of control, and then it's shifted over to the left, and it's going to come back to the right. The question is, will the Christians be as big of an influence, or will it be like Islam? Because we're getting a lot of Islamic population at this point.
I see,
and they are very conservative. I mean. It's always amazing to me when the left talks because I'm like, they don't realize what they're saying. Like when Islam when LGBTQ goes and marches for like Palestine, and they don't really understand, how dangerous
They
that
can
can.
invite them all to Palestine for a roof party.
Yeah, no, like, and I feel bad for them because I'm like, oh God, no, you guys
Um,
don't get it.
Tell me you got that, Rick. I think Rick got the joke.
He did. I think he did. Rick, you got the joke.
Yes. Yeah.
Come up to the roof and have a party with us. You'll feel like you're flying.
Yes, Americans, if you're ever partying in Palestine,
It'll be
avoid the roofs.
it'll
What were
be
you
a
gonna say, Rick?
smashing party. It'll be a smashing party.
They went over to the Middle East and they said they're all going to get stoned. And when they got there, they didn't realize they meant rocks.
Yeah, they didn't know what they meant by stone until they saw it for themselves.
Oh, they got some weed over here? No, we got rocks though.
There's weed on the ground where
Eventually,
you're falling.
Unfortunately, that
Sorry.
party will end up becoming a real downer.
I don't know. I just think that it's fine if you want to put that in your own comic, but don't tell other people to put it in their comic.
Well,
I
it
just think
depends on what
it's
he
great
meant.
to hear anybody say it at all.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it depends. We're getting Chris's thing. And
Yeah,
obviously,
actually, I'm going to go back
trying
and
to
rewatch.
misrepresent it.
Yeah, no, you're right in a way because I can't even give
We're
you a
not getting.
concise
I don't think we're getting the facts.
Right.
I'm going to go back and rewatch it because it was fascinating. I only saw 20 minutes of it. And, but what I was hearing was just like, wow, okay, this is cool. Because he wasn't saying anything that we haven't talked about on here, which I know hasn't thrilled you, bro, but.
Thrilled who?
You.
Oh,
you get
I just.
Whenever I talk of like morality, and I'm like, no, I'm not saying, it's not the same thing with Melvin, although I do wish you'd clean up your accent. No.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, Chris.
Hey, I'm just waiting for like Hasbro to come to you and you'll be like, well, okay, maybe a little bit of cleanup, maybe.
There's no way
Well, no,
Tim's
I
gonna
would do-
Disneyfy it.
I would do a Melvin cartoon, but I'd do it like what they did with the Ninja Turtles, where it'd be watered down a little bit for kids.
Yeah, me too.
And then I
won't have to because I'll already be watered down.
I actually thought about that
Same
too.
here.
I actually thought about if I made a cartoon, what would the setup be?
Well, I'm actually thinking about making a cartoon. I got Procreate Dreams, which is their full like animated, application. And yeah, I've had it for about a month and I just haven't really used it yet. I'm just learning it, but
yeah,
we'll see. I think I can do like 2D motion.
Well, Melvin #1 special edition just found its way into Powell's. So
in the what?
Powell's is a bookstore in Portland.
What do you mean?
It's available on their website, fool.
On which one?
Powell's.
It's a bookstore.
Powell's is a bookstore. I got you. All right.
All right. Yeah, there you go.
Congratulations, my friend.
So that one's just in Portland, that bookstore?
I don't know if it's a chain, but I know that there's one in Portland.
Wow,
I heard there was a Powell in the government. He was a big general.
Okay, you can stop that.
No, I'm serious. You remember him?
I know, I remember. Smart ass.
Head no, we got to remember these things because history is going to forget. Yeah. That was Colin Powell. And I believed every word he said at the UN when he said there were weapons of mass destruction, that dude. Remember that?
No,
he had all these little illustrations about vans with missiles and chemical weapons.
That burrito he had that morning.
What's that? Yeah, the burrito. Mm.
He had that burrito that morning. He said, I have weapons of mass destruction.
Very bad man indeed. No, I don't know how bad he was. He may have been fooled himself, but somehow top agents in the government, I can't picture being fooled on something on that level. You know, you might fool them with like, we just replaced his copy with Folger's Instant. You might fool them with that.
I don't know. It took them a long time to find a bunch of dudes who hide in caves, so I don't know.
Hey, caves are pretty scary, man.
Yeah, I guess
You know
so.
they have dark stuff in them. Shadows,
got-
that's what it's called.
They got shadows. They got cave spiders and mites and whatnot.
Creepers.
Bats that crap on the ground. Bat guano everywhere.
Must have dark.
And the werewolves.
Of course, you got to watch out for the werewolves.
That's where they go. Everybody thinks they turn
got
back to
all
human
kinds
at the end of the full moon, but they're hiding in the caves,
Damn.
waiting for you.
Damn.
The creep.
Oh, that would be a nice little
little. They're all together.
I already-
Spooky.
Oh, I already wrote something like that when I was in 4th grade. I got in trouble
Yeah.
for it though. Yeah. It was werewolves versus GI Joe, and it was not allowed in the school.
Wait,
I remember
the
something I
thing
wrote
is
when
that-
I was in elementary school about dolphins evolving because I thought they were super smart. And nobody's saying they're going to evolve and come out of the water like I had, but it turns out they're really super smart. And I had no idea of that. But I always thought because of Flipper, you know how Flipper used to, they call him Flipper, faster
You could totally twist that and make it
yes,
like
I know Flipper.
Flipper mashed up with Mars Attacks. Mashed
No.
up with Atlantis Attacks.
No, Flipper was Lassie in the water, man. Flipper would come up and be like, and they'd be like, the submarine went down in the water. Let's go help.
Yeah.
Somebody would go scuba diving.
Of course,
and
the submarine went down to the water. That's what they're supposed to do.
Shh, this is Hollywood, son. Don't tell them that. That's the whole joke. Yeah.
Well-
He gets caught in the water by the Flipper, and he can't
I
get
got a
out.
sinking feeling here.
Yep.
Yeah, we're submerging.
Oh,
We're
geez.
taking on water.
That joke did us in.
I'm suffocating here.
Well, and kind of the true meaning of the Greek storytelling, which is what all heroes' journeys are based on. I will have a mentor character somewhere past issue 4, going into issue maybe 6 or 7. I'm not sure.
Will his name be Obi-Wan?
No.
So
He
these
will
are
be
not we are looking
No,
for.
it'll be OB2.
No. He will be.
Hey, you want to
crazy
hear
little-
something I did that was really mean today?
What'd
I
you
know,
do?
Tim. I just talked on you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He will be a crazy old fool, though.
Cool. So the mean thing I did today, there was a child looking at a Star Wars coloring picture. And it
You
was
ripped
Darth
it in
Vader.
half in front of him.
It was Darth Vader with Luke Skywalker. And I looked down and I said, hey, that's Obi-Wan. He said, no, that's Luke and Darth Vader. I said, no, nobody told you? Obi-Wan is really Darth Vader. And he looked at me and said, I'm not stupid. I've seen the movies. I thought it was so funny. I was trying to mess with him. He's like, no. That's not Obi-Wan. I know. All right, you got me.
I thought you were said something like you do know
You
that
should
Luke
say,
kissed his
movie
sister,
did you
right?
see?
I just like messing with kids sometimes when they're like playing with Star Wars and they're telling me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to mess with you. That's Obi-Wan and behind that mask. Oh, you did see that. Good. It's funny because the old movies still capture kids.
Well, you could say it's Luke.
Nah.
What's that?
You could,
No, because Luke was in the
you could
picture.
say it's Luke behind. You could say it's Luke. No, but you say that because
It's
if you remember,
future-
when he was training with Yoda in the swamp, it was Luke under the mask.
No, that was like an illusion or something from the dark side.
And this kid would have eaten me
Darth
alive.
Vader,
though.
at that point.
This kid wouldn't have accepted it. He would have been like, "No, Luke is right there. You silly man."
You
He
old
probably would
fool.
have said something worse, but yeah, it's just funny sometimes. And to them, this is all new to them. Like, they watch the movie with their dad or something, and they're like, I know about this movie.
Luke went to the past and became Darth Vader. Yeah. He time traveled.
I guess it must be because of parental influence that they get to see it, though. Because I don't think it's something that they stumble upon,
Well, I mean, Star Wars is easy to come across. I mean, everyone's seen it. I've actually ran into a few people who've never. Well, then those are people who've been living in a cave, and they should feel bad.
In fact, we should do a show dedicated to that. We shame you if you have not seen Star Wars 1, 2, or 3, which is actually what's the actual episodes for 1, 2, and 3? They're like,
it's 4, 5, and 6.
You mean 4, 5, and 6?
I can't find it, but I think there was an article on why George Lucas started with episode 4, and according to him, the characters in 1 through 3 were not as good as 4 through 6, and they couldn't do the special effects or something like that.
Yeah, so, as it was, he was pushing the edge of what they had available back then. Mm-hmm. I still like the effects.
He even invented a few things, I think.
Yeah.
He invented the auto windshield.
Hence why
Did anybody see the last Indiana Jones movie?
I hope so. But it's probably going to be Indiana Jane next time, right?
I don't know. I didn't think it was terrible, but I also thought, okay, they better not better make another one.
That chick's going to be in the next one.
They're doing another one?
Why? Well, they're supposed to, but who knows if they'll actually go through it after the last one bombed so hard.
Yeah.
Well, there can't be another Indiana Jones. Like Harrison Ford, I think, is just getting too old for that stuff.
It depends. If the CG goes up in a couple of years, all it takes is more good CG and more AI. And eventually it's going to be like Harrison Ford's just going to sign the contract and AI is going to take over. And there's going to be a beautiful Harrison Ford, 30-year-old actor, and he's going to look great.
Except for his fingers. I guess they could do something similar to what they did with Leia in Rogue One and Luke in The Mandalorian.
Well, I think there's got to be another jump in technology, which there already really has been processor-wise. It's like, it depends if the software and the processors all, increase, but it's only going to get more realistic as they go. I mean, AI is pretty sick now,
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that.
Yeah.
Well, it's just true. We don't even realize how much we've seen it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's...
I've also read articles where they say that the hype on AI is also what kind of killed it.
Well, they're making efforts to kill it. There's legislation. There's well-intended policies. But AI is not stupid. Like, have you read that? There was a story about how in France they had 2 AI programs talking to each other, and they had to shut them off because they quickly developed their own language, and the humans didn't know what they were saying. Like, that's pretty cool, spooky cool. Like,
scary cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I kind of find it all seems very unnecessary.
You would think so, and I agree with you. However, the Antichrist needs that kind of power because he's going up against God. And what AI does is it can take, like Doctor Strange was basically doing in Avengers. What was the one before Endgame? Infinity War.
Yeah.
In that one, when Doctor Strange, the little Indian sit and I saw 14.1 million whatever possibilities. That's kind of what AI does. It runs through all those possibilities and kind of melds into whatever you're asking for.
Yeah, but except it never gives you what you're asking for.
Well, it can't give you perfectly. No, it's flawed still. Remember, it's still flawed. Like, we're looking at the Atari 2600 of AI right now. When it gets to 84, like when Nintendo NES is released, we're going to see the next wave and we're going to be like, holy. And then by the time we're impressed by that, Super NES and then PlayStation and then 64. You know what I mean? Like, It's going to progress, and it's probably going to go faster than the video games did.
Yeah, but who's using it? It's not the average person though.
Well, that's the
It's
scary part.
corporations.
Who's really using it, right? Who's going to have access to the best of the
Well,
best?
the average everyday person is starting to use.
Well, we're using the
Yeah,
baby stuff they're letting
the
out to
public
us.
never gets the best of the best usually.
Think of the audio AI that we've played with.
Yeah.
They could tweak those controls. We could get in there and tweak like
So
male,
it's probably a
female
little bit better
voice
behind the scenes.
or what kind of bass guitar, what kind of drums. There's got to be a way to customize all of that, but they're not giving it to us. No. No, they're holding that back for someone who's paying them a lot more money than a $10 a month fee or whatever it is. I'm sure if we were like $1,000, a week investors, we'd have like, oh, would you like to pick the individual vocalist? You like Elvis Presley? We have an Elvis Presley right here. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, because for say Elvis, they would have enough recordings of
Sample.
his voice that they could, to make a bot that would do that, for lack of a better way of saying it.
But like, there's a whole catalog of voices out there that they could take. I know Snoop Dogg's on a ton of stuff. He's been heavily used. I don't know if he signed his rights away or sold them or what.
Singers or actors, they could easily create a bot or whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah. Well, for somebody to use it commercially, yes, obviously they would have to sign. Somebody would have to sign something saying you could do it. But I'm just saying they could do it even without their use. They just couldn't do it commercially.
Well, one of the text apps that I tried, remember the Great Cyclopean? 5 things you should know about the Great Cyclopean. That woman there is a computer generated voice. Snoop Dogg was one of the ones, and I did a version of it, and I decided not to use it because I'm like, man, that's kind of dirty. Like if Snoop Dogg came to me and said, yo, what's up, my friend? Why'd you use my voice? Am I like one of your favorites? I'd be like, no, I don't know, but like 3 songs of yours. And I just thought it would be recognizable. He'd be like, well, my friend, I'm going to sue you for everything you got.
Is that supposed to be your Snoop Dogg voice?
That is my Snoop Dogg, and I can't swear or anything on it. So I'm like, yo, my friend, instead of like, cussing me out and be like, what's up, my homie? I'm going to slap you down for what you... I know it's a terrible Snoop Dogg, terrible.
You should be ashamed of that impression.
I'm very proud of the effort, though. It's an A for effort, F for execution.
Except for effort starts.
I don't even know what he sounds like, but I know it sounds bad.
He doesn't sound like that.
No, he don't.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's Friday night. I'm getting down drinking hard coffee with creamer and sugar.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Are you drinking black, creamer, sugar? What do you got, Tim?
I got instant coffee.
Oh, I used to love instant coffee on a Friday night.
Yeah, well, that's all I got, and there's no coffee in the coffee pot, and I don't want to make a mess. So,
okay, let me test your ages. Did you ever stay up late for NBC's Friday night videos? And what I would do is like at 11:30, when Mom was asleep, I would tiptoe out to the kitchen, make myself a double instant coffee. Like I get a mug and put 2 scoops of that crap in there. Load it up with a cup of sugar, literally, like it was so sweet.
Lord, give yourself.
And I'd run into the living room and just guzzle that because, like, I hated the taste of the instant coffee. But upon drinking that, I could make it through the 2-hour festival of heavy metal videos. That was the only purpose for me to do that.
Well, we didn't grow up in the same area, and I'm younger than you. Saturday night, there was a program.
I never did anything like that.
There was a program late at night on. I don't know. It was one of those. It basically followed bands on tour. Like it'd go to one place and there'd be Pantera playing.
I remember that. It was like they'd have a new live band every week.
Or they had like maybe 4 live bands. Then they'd go to like Bad Religion was playing somewhere, or
I think I know what you're talking about. And they also had the Headbangers Ball for a while on MTV, which was kind of.
I didn't have MTV.
All right.
I didn't have MTV until like the 90s.
Oh, by then I think it was kind of crappy, wasn't it?
No, it was awesome. What are you
Was
talking
it?
about? Yeah.
When did it go crappy then?
After 99, when they did
Well, it's
mostly
been
reality programs.
Oh, when real life started becoming a hit, and then they were like, everything's got to be ultra
Yeah,
real.
I hate them for that. Anyway, the first video I saw was Stone Temple Pilots. What was off the core album? It was a Stone Temple Pilot video.
Yeah, see, I was there when they started showing them. Period. Like I remember the first ones coming out. I don't remember what they were because really, they kind of grew out of the variety shows where you had the lip syncing stars come on. Like I crack up, like you see Blondie, and they're doing like their hits and stuff. And that was a punk band that sold out, and you can just tell they're just like they're collecting their check, and they're like, and I'm like, I know they're not playing. It's just a studio record. That's why they look so disinterested. But they made their money. They did what they had to
Yeah.
do. I have no
Meanwhile,
problem with what they did.
meanwhile, the Ramones tried to sell out, couldn't sell out, but they actually still had that cult following.
I think the biggest thing was Deborah Harry, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you had an attractive blonde who could sing, and they were just playing tight rhythm. I mean, really, that's all they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was disco-y. Remember, that was the days of the disco ball, my friends.
Yeah.
You guys weren't part of Roll On America, were you? Well, Rick,
No.
you wouldn't be, but you guys weren't into roller skates and stuff?
No.
Oh, man, those were the best. We used to have like all-nighters on the roller skates.
Seeing
and
as
the
I'm in Canada,
They had skates.
seeing as how I'm in Canada, no. But
They had to worry about polar bears attacking them.
no, we had a roller rink. We had roller rinks. We still do have a few roller rinks in Canada.
Walruses.
Yeah, but up there, that's running on logs, right?
Last time I knew, anyways.
In a river of water. You guys get on the logs and you run, making them roll. Or you guys are the masters of curling, aren't you? Where like you throw a thing down, a stone on the ice, and somebody runs ahead of it with a brush. And
They
like
cover themselves up with honey and try to run from bears.
And every one of them thinks they're an archer. I'll get that bear. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure whether they were mad. Unfortunately.
So in elementary school, did they teach you guys how to
Did
fight
you hear
bears?
me that I know?
No, you jumped real bad. I was going to pretend that it worked for you, but
No.
yeah, we couldn't hear anything.
TV for me, Saturday night would be Saturday Night Live, but after Saturday Night Live, for anybody who grew up in the Northwest, was a little show called Almost Live.
I almost believe you. No.
No, really. There was a show called Almost Live. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm almost joking.
You son of a bitch.
I'm just messing around, bro.
I know.
I'm almost dead.
No, I don't think any of you saw Almost Live. Well,
no, I don't think I did either.
Yeah, they had.
I know one of the shows they put on around my place was Elvira, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I never liked her. Never ever.
Yeah.
I liked the movies she showed, but she always irritated. Like I always wanted the Crypt Keeper, and I know that's stupid because she had breasts. But the Crypt Keeper was creepy. I was like, nah, I'd rather be creeped out right now. I don't want to look at breasts if I'm trying to get creeped out, you know?
Oh hell yeah, this is a good one. Let me share this.
Nothing's coming up.
Hold on, I'm gonna share it.
I don't see nothing yet. Where is it?
You shut your dirty mouth. Okay. Wait, tell me if I shared audio. I think I forgot to.
I don't hear audio. I see Mind Your Manners with Billy
Not playing.
Quan.
Let me try that again. Hold on. It's coming.
No,
It's coming.
no, I will not hold on.
You will hold.
What do you want me to hold on to?
Your sanity.
Dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun.
that was
dun, dun.
done long ago. Can't hold on to that. That was
Mind your manners with Billy Kwan.
Yes.
It's time for Mind Your Manners with Billy Kwan. Today's episode, Yard Sale of Fury.
I've got some very nice stuff here. This ought to go very well today.
Hey, how much you want for this mug?
That is a fine piece going back to the Ming Dynasty.
I'll give you a quarter for it.
Fair enough.
Here you go.
Have a nice day. Oh,
What a bunch of worthless crap.
well, for your information, these are valuable collectibles.
How much you want for this? What?
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
You idiot! That was Love Gun by Kiss, a classic album.
one album, huh? I'll try these.
Uh-oh. Russian, come alive. Oh. He is most impressive with his utensil.
He's stuck in a fork in him. He's done.
That was a nice cut.
Stop! You have not paid for that, jerk. Boys and girls, be a courteous shopper or Billy will junk you.
Remember, kids, be like Billy. Behave yourself.
Bravo.
That's what
like Jimmy.
behave yourself. That's what I grew up with.
Nice.
Oh, beehive.
Everything was spot on. It wasn't like vulgar. Very nice. Very nice. I was like, oh, Tim, don't play anything too bad.
I also was exposed to all the old Saturday Night Live because at the time Saturday Night Live would do like, was it the 10-year anniversary special or? So
I used to love Saturday Night Live. That was like a Saturday night institution. I agree. I remember it too. You know, like all the generations of it until like, I don't know, sometime in the 2000s, I was like, oh, they don't want me watching anymore. That's why they're being like that. So I went away and I found YouTube. And now I watch, you know what I watch late night? I told you guys, right? I watch video game videos, which are the dumbest, mindless, most mindless things you can watch. But I don't get upset with them. I'm like, yes, tell me more about Pac-Man, because I haven't watched every historical account of Pac-Man that's on YouTube already. But here's a new one. I don't know. I like it because there's no drama, you know. Absolutely nobody's getting all bent out of shape. I feel like that's the only problem I see with going online with stuff. If you get too involved, it you know, shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just like the big guys, you know, like if I don't interact with the EBS Eric July stuff, you got the Wheelers around the corner. And if you're not dealing with the Wheelers, look out, because you know, Frog G and other people, I don't know who's fighting who, but they're all arguing with each other, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. The Wheelers make it a point to fight with people. That's what they do.
Well, it is, yeah. It's actually part of their strategy. If you look at the history, it has to be. Like, nobody gets into that many arguments that many times with that many different people, and they're always, when you look into it, they're always instigating, but they're always the victim.
Yeah. Also their comic books are. I mean, the artwork's beautiful, but the ideas are stupid.
I don't even know how beautiful it is because as an artist, I'm like, I don't like criticizing other people's art, but I'm like, there's a lot of like smoke and mirrors on some of that stuff.
But
Um,
that frog cover is really gross.
yeah.
I haven't
I
seen
mean,
any of
well,
the artwork for it,
it's
or I've
it's
probably
just like
seen a couple things.
so somebody
I,
so talented is even though the thing that this person needs to realize is I said you're talented, but it doesn't mean I like you as a person.
well, and even to take it to a further extension, people can be talented and not be liked as artists, like there are examples of artists in time through Marvel that I knew were good, but I didn't particularly care for them. Um, like I remember when John Romita Jr. had a run on Amazing Spider-Man, and then he went to X-Men, and I didn't care for his style at all during that era. Before that, he was a different penciler, and after that, he's become a different penciler. But that particular run, it was like I just didn't like the way he was drawing stuff. And it's kind of weird because he's a generational guy. If you go back and look, he's been drawing for decades, and you can really see the evolution. It's just cool to note. Rick's gonna pass out on us there. Look at that.
I hope
I'm at
not.
the.
It's not. It's
You,
only
you
like
go up to
10
Canada and
o'clock.
slap him around, wake him up.
Well, it's
only
late
like
up there.
10
I think it's probably like what, 10 o'clock?
No, quarter to 10. Meanwhile, it's almost quarter to 1 for you.
No, because I time traveled. Right now it's 5:45. And when we get done here, I'm just gonna jump back to whatever it's supposed to be. I have a Mac, so I can do that.
Time traveling Mac.
Yeah, well, it's part of the
Smack.
OS. It's called Time Capsule. I just can turn on Time Capsule and jump back and forth.
Yeah.
There actually is an app called Time Capsule, but it's all about backing up your Mac to a hard drive, not time travel. I'm kidding. That costs extra.
You have
However,
a smash and toss.
I do think in the world of conspiracy science, that's the best one right now. Is that like we're seeing time travel affect the world? Like people are coming back and changing things because they're like, oh yeah, we need to adjust this and change that, and
We would never know.
Well, yeah, you're right. Until Jesus comes and he says, okay, I got a few minutes. What's up, Rick? And you can then probably look at him and say, hey, tell me, was this one real? But like, are you going to waste your time on that? I doubt it. I'm going to be all excited to talk about things that matter, not about all the stupid things that I'm going to forget in, the presence of the Lord. Because I can only imagine when that day has come, when I find myself standing in the sun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing with that one song.
But the good thing is, when you have eternity to do anything and talk about anything, talking about some stupid stuff sometimes might be quite enjoyable.
Well, maybe, but I do consider that it's going to be a different reality. I think looking back on this world will be a lot like how we look back at our time in the womb and complain about how dark and warm it was. It's kind of creepy looking back. I mean, it was you know what I'm saying, right? We were alive through all of that, but we don't remember it. It's like, I think that we're going to know that we were here on Earth and we were human, but remembering it is going to be like, yeah, but I don't, I don't know. I'm here now. It's this, we're going to be so consumed by whatever
this
we're
life
doing.
once we're there won't really matter.
Well, I think it'll be something that they'll tell us,
because
we'll be like, whoa, what happened? And they'll be like, well, you were a human and now you're here with us. And oh yeah, God is everywhere, but he's here. And yeah, oh yeah, look over there. There's Jesus. Yeah, yeah. And oh yeah, those are angels. They're cool. Yeah, yeah. And it won't be like I'm trying to visualize and verbalize it, but it'll be nothing like that. It's gonna be so amazing. I couldn't imagine it, even if I wanted to.
Yeah, I get that.
I just hope like there's some Christian version
Mere words are not enough.
of Dio's Holy Diver that I can like sing to. Holy Diver. I want a Christian version of it. I love that song. I love the beat. I love the melody. But
Well,
it needs a
make it.
Christian.
Make it.
Yeah, like I got the time for that, my brother. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's just
Actually,
it's just coming up
Go
with
ahead.
new lyrics, right? You know, like there's a Christian band that does that called the Apologetics. They take a bunch of mainstream songs and make them Christian, put Christian lyrics to them.
Yeah, but I don't even know who they are.
Well, look them up. I'm sure you'd like them.
I may have to do that. No, but what I've been able to do because of like the little pause here between books and stuff, and pause, I've had a couple of days to just play, is I'm just like preparing like what I hope will be artwork in the future cartoon. Like, so I've been talking about how there has to be things that to learn from Rippaverse. I think I've learned that I like animated features for trailers, but I have the advantage that I'm not like hiring a studio somewhere. I'm going to be able to actually use my own artwork, which will coincide with the comic very well. That was my only complaint about the animated trailer. And it's like, but it doesn't look anything like the comic because it's, you know, it's not the same thing. Just like the live trailer isn't. It's kind of one of those things. I don't like those, but I do like animated trailers. I like remember those motion comics where they just moved like certain parts of the 2D comic and it
Yeah.
I did like those, but it was weird to find anyone that was really good. Like it to get past the gimmick, it has to be a really good comic. Otherwise it becomes kind of blah. Go ahead,
if I could make a cartoon, I'd want to do like the old, like what they did with He-Man and rotoscope it.
Oh, that would be intense, but rotoscoping is.
First, you'd have to find a bunch of actors to film, and then you'd have to animate over them.
Well, you can do it yourself and just use the skeleton of your body to do that, like just the points of articulation. The problem with it is there's so many frames that you'll have to grab and read. Oh man. But there are programs that will simulate it. I just don't happen to own any of those where like the skeleton will automatically animate to a movement and stuff.
Yeah, but I also don't like me on camera. Why do you think my camera's always off mostly?
What do you mean?
Yeah, but see that's if you're not doing it yourself, but you know, like, or if you did it yourself, the video would only be for you to see, so you can, you know, in a sense, trace it, because that's what rotoscoping is basically.
Right.
Tracing.
Yeah, after you were done tracing it, you'd get rid of it. And so, like, let's say you wanted to do the Hulk, right? And you're the only person who could shoot it. You could shoot a video and then go in and like follow where the head goes, the shoulders, you know, all that stuff. And like do a stick figure and then draw every frame with the Hulk on that stick figure that you got from your video.
But
and then you
the
have
thing
like
is, it can be a lot of frames. I've taken apart some of the GIFs, you know, that before to use, you know, try and use them and transform them into my characters, and it is, you know,
well, I remember
minimum
like
40 frames.
And well, industry standard for like film is 24 frames a second, or it used to be. It's probably higher now with all the video enhancements. I remember Flash, we used to shoot for 14 frames a second, but still, even that low rate, if you think about that, you know, 10 seconds is 140 drawings.
Yeah,
now
and
there
that's just one figure, you know, depending on what you do.
And there are cheats, like for instance, you can make the background separate and it can do its own things. Like there are little tricks that you can make it look like there are things happening back there. And in the foreground where you're doing stuff, you can like make models. That's what I was talking about. Like you can attach them to like an invisible skeleton that you program the movement to, and it'll move your drawing according to how you move it in a time frame. But it's time consuming. At least it has been in the stuff that I've done it in. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping that this new program makes it so much easier because it looks easier. but they always look easy. Like 10 years ago, it looked easy, and I bought stuff and it wasn't.
Oh yeah. It's just like the people that make stuff in Blender. It's like they make it look so easy and it's so hard.
I get Blender because if you do it enough, but who has the time? Like, it has to be somebody who really has the time to dedicate to sit and learn it. I'll bet you in 3 months you could master it, but that's a lot of time to dedicate to a program.
Well, if it can get you some money and, people rent out their skills to make stuff,
So
Yeah.
just like all those celebrities that on a Cameo you could use to advertise your book.
Huh?
I believe he said there are celebrities on Cameo you can use to advertise your book.
Yes.
Okay, but what do you mean? Like Cameo, is that a site or?
Yeah, it's a service.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you think
I
they
don't
could
know how that works. Like, I don't know if I could contact them and say, will you say buy the Great Cyclopean? Or if I'd have to be sly, like, hey, I just want to say hi to Christopher, the creator of the Great Cyclopean, and congratulations on funding your last camp. You're like, I don't know how they would do it. Like, they may not endorse the product and like have to be paid to
Well, it depends
congratulate.
on how much you're paying them or whatever.
Well, I mean,
Probably.
it'd be worth trying to like one time. You
Yeah,
know,
it would be.
see if they say, hey, look, I'll send you a free copy. You can skim through it, and then you can honestly endorse this product.
Okay, I got questions. First question: do you send the
No.
book or do you send a PDF?
I'd
You
just
send
send a PDF.
You send a PDF. They're not going to want you. They're not going to give you their address.
But they might give you a PO box. But then again, the PDF is immediate.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying.
send
You
them the
send
PDF, and
No.
part of the payment is possibly
You send them a
sending
PDF. Yeah, you send them a PDF. Fool.
I think I'd send both. And I'd send like 3 copies, like stagger them over a week.
Well,
No.
you send them if they agree to it, along with paying them whatever they want. You send them, say, can I send you a free copy?
Yeah. Well,
But then, like,
yours should be easy though. All you have to do is say, go to my website, skim through the books, then you can honestly,
But the other question I have is, who would you pick to give your book an endorsement?
I was thinking Shaggy Two Dope,
Who's that?
Insane Clown Posse, Shaggy Two Dope.
Oh, is he
Should
on
know.
Cameo?
Yes, he is.
Holy, oh man. Oh
Yeah.
man. No kidding. He would do
How's
it too.
that spelled? CAMEO?
I believe so.
Yes, Cameo.
Kim?
Spell it. Sound it out.
CA.
K
Well, I'm just making sure it's
A M M.
It's K, not E.
No, I'm messing with you. It's CAMEO, I believe.
One of these days, Rick's going to be hiding behind the corner and just slugging me in the jaw.
Canada's gonna get us from the backside. Boom. Hey, that's okay. The Bruins beat Montreal the other night
Oh, snap.
in overtime. We stomped them.
Yeah. How ironic.
Montreal was like,
Their favorite
"We're
sport.
so sorry we upset you, Boston. Please don't beat us no more."
Ooh, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I saw him too.
Yeah.
But like, if you could get anybody, gosh, there's a long list of possibilities there.
Honestly, I bet you Chuck Norris would definitely endorse the great Cyclopean, or
Robert Picardo.
Sean Connery. I would like to get Sean Connery.
do you think you can get Sean
He's
Connery?
I think he's dead now, so that might be impossible.
AI to the rescue. I bet you can find his voice somewhere.
Yeah. Just hire an impersonator.
Yeah, if you can find one. Well, actually, that's silly because there's always going to be at least one or two impersonators, even if they can't do him well. They'll be going, "Yeah, I do him." They'll come in, "Hi, I'm Sean Connery," and you're like, "Are you? I mean, does that sound like yeah?"
You just blur the lens a little bit so it mostly looks like him.
Yeah.
You put like Vaseline over the lens of the camera.
Or have them talk about like having a rash this morning, so all I can show you is my hands.
I was disfigured in a car accident. Can't be on camera.
As you can see, these are my award-winning actor hands.
Yes, my face was burnt off by a radiator.
Oh no, we're being evil. I'm so sorry, Sean. I know you're watching, right?
Yes, he's waiting for you to like get through the pearly gates so he can just like kick you in the balls one time.
Oh yeah, he's dead. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, he's waiting. He's like, as soon as you get through the gates, I'm gonna kick him straight in the balls. Sorry,
Do
Jesus.
you remember when he got cornered by Barbara Walters about hitting women?
I don't remember.
It was terribly funny because looking back, you know how things are now.
Yeah.
He just walked right into it. She was like, "So you think there are times when a woman should be slapped?" And he's like, "Well,
You know what he should have said? Yeah, like right now.
well, no." He was like, if she won't listen to reason, sometimes I have to smack her to get common sense into her." And Barbara was like maintaining her composure, but like she's like, "Don't you see how that could be considered offensive?" And he's like, "Well," he like tried. He stayed with his guns through the whole thing. Very like 1950s, macho man type of. Here, if the dame gets out of line, you just gotta set her straight. You see? Okay, Sean. Now you ended your career, sir. But he really didn't. He apologized and got out of it. Did 50 laps around the women's right campaign, and I think he made well. I don't know. He made more movies. Back then, controversies weren't like they are now. It wasn't as rabid.
Well, that's because people get offended over everything. It's just
and part of that's because they realize they can mobilize like 30,000 users going against like Joe Schmo. They can cancel him and get him like his life ruined.
Yeah, but the thing is now that when somebody's offended, nobody really believes them. It's like, okay, you're offended, cool.
Yeah, the edge has kind of gone off of that. It used to be, a lot of consideration. You don't want to offend anybody. Now it's kind of like,
don't give
I'm
a shit.
done. Stop pushing me. I don't care if you're offended. And it's coming from all sides, left, right, the middle. I really think, what if we're all been like effed up by COVID? And our heads are just like, we're all just going a little nuts. And that's why we've lost that reason that we used to have.
You can get one of the actors from CSI Cyber for $34 Canadian. You got some Power Rangers here.
That sounds like fun. Kimberly wouldn't be one of them because she actually went off and like had a real series on CBS at some point. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't know which one he's from. It's a black guy that was, I think, the Red Ranger, and then there's another one another actor that was a Power Ranger. I'm not sure. There's 2 or 3 of them on here that say Power Rangers. On the cheap one, like it says $25.
Steve Rogers.
Hold on.
One of them get a date on the robot machine type operations. Say, how'd you like to step out on the town with a stand-up guy and a couple of malteds? Well, come on down to the soda jerk. We'll have a root-toot-tootin' good time. But I ain't afraid to backhand a dame if she talks back or gets out of line.
Yeah, old time. That's how they used to be, ladies. I am glad that's changed because I don't like that there was a time when women were like absolutely disregarded.
Well,
I mean,
just
like
thought it-
like cattle disregarded. Like they were, dude. Men were horrible to women, and like men in power. That whole Me Too movement. I know it
Yeah.
got way out of hand, but the big guys who got busted, I would have never. And I know this is so naive of me, but I never would have thought they were who they were. You know, Weinstein, the biggest name in Hollywood. Are you kidding me? Oprah Winfrey was buddies with him. Tom Hanks hung out with him. Like this guy is supposed to be like bulletproof clean, according to what we're supposed to believe. And then it's like, no, he's not.
Well, no. Who would think like that?
I did. I believed the hype. I thought there was morality in Hollywood, and it was just getting so confusing for money. It's all about the money, but it really isn't. There's other
That's
things
why.
happening.
That's why when I hear you guys talk about like selling out to like bigger corporations, I'm like, you know, we're not actors or celebrities, but you know, look what happens to those people when they sell out their integrity for fame and
Well, and
fortune.
part of that though is a lot of dreaming. You know, it's like when you actually get there, who knows? You know, it's a lot harder to plan on it. Hello, Terry.
Hey,
Who
Terry.
wasn't disregarded? They just knew their place. Oh, women. Yeah, I guess that's a fair statement. But the ones who were rebelling, they were disregarded until they gathered enough support to change the laws and all that stuff.
That sounds kind of messed up though when you read it like that. They weren't disregarded; they just knew their place.
It does, but if you were thinking in terms of like the nuclear family or the family that God set up, you know, a woman should be like the wife and should be, you know,
Right.
for that type of family, that's what it would be.
Hey, I got one for you, Chris.
Which one?
Bob West, voice actor for Barney.
Purple dinosaur?
Yes.
Not like Barney Rubble?
No, not Barney Rubble.
Not like Barney from like Fish?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about a purple dinosaur.
He's only $53 Canadian.
That's horrible. My son actually watched him as a 3-year-old. I remember I had to put up with like about 3 months of him. Thankfully, Jace quickly grew out of Barney. Because I would have let him watch it longer, but he just, it didn't take very long. He was like, He was more into watching video games. He really liked watching me play. He would hold the broken Super NES controller and maul it and, you know, throw it and grab it and chew on it and all that stuff.
Oh, one of the actors from The Chosen is on here.
Oh. I don't know. It's weird because if I could pick anybody, I really run into like a log jam because most of the people I think are cool are like going to be senior citizens to anybody that I want to reach with the comic, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Was he really? I didn't know.
They got an actor from The Flash, an actress from The Flash, an actor from Family Matters.
Oh, also, I thought it'd be cool to actually get the manager of Guar to endorse Melvin.
It might be cool. It would be cool.
You sleazy P Martini. He's the fucking manager. Whoops. You'll have to bleep that out.
No, I won't. I'll leave it, and then like when parents come to me, I'll say, "Yes, we're praying for Timmy."
Or maybe they'll be with that one badass kid who goes, "Oh wow,
Timmy's falling down the well."
He cursed. He's awesome.
Hopefully, they don't clip it and like meme it on the school board or something. Just admit that he liked vicious dinosaurs. In the Flintstones, they weren't vicious though. Not that I remember. They were just machinery and some pets. And
do you think Barney could actually leave threatening messages on someone's answering machine. I'll kill you, soon you'll see. I'll come to your house and make you bleed.
I could see it. You know what's funny is Five Nights at Freddy's is like one of the biggest things with these kids. This with the kids, and they also like oh, what the heck was I can't remember. There's a band that plays all these creepy songs like that about toys that come to life, and they're like horrific monsters. And it's like, yeah, it's looking pretty. If I look at it like a Christian, it looks pretty demonic. Like it's what looks to be possessed dolls that come to life and try to kill people. I'm like, I can see where this could be going. This could be bad. Like it's no longer. I don't know. When we were growing up, when I was growing up, there were some supernatural bad guys, but most of them were like, some jerk who got offended with something that some company did, and so he went in his garage and built himself a super smudge gun, and he's gonna go get Spider-Man for X, Y, and Z, and those type of villains. They were stupid villains that were easily beaten for the most part. Until they had like the heavies, like Doctor Doom would show up for a couple of issues. You knew that was going to be tense. Human Torch is going to guest star soon because
You know how funny some of those easily it was to make fun of those kind of tropes was. Point. Austin Powers. Quick, use the slowly dipping mechanism. Close the tank. And then like his son was like, "Look, I could get a gun. 5 minutes. Boom, he's dead."
yeah, some of the stuff like the monologuing, which has been done 100 times in comedy, but really a good superhero story, there's usually a little monologuing going on. Like you want to hear the villain. You thought you were so tough, Canadian Shield, but I have the plan. I am poisoning all of Ontario. And you're like, okay, I like knowing what he's up to. I want to know, and of course, if he reveals the plan, that automatically kind of tells you subconsciously the hero's going to come back. That was a mistake. He shouldn't have said anything. Do you guys watch what's it called? Invincible, the Amazon miniseries thing?
I've watched the first season and part of the second.
I've seen clips.
We just watched the latest episode, so I don't know if I should talk about it because I'll reveal spoilers.
I know it's pretty brutal.
And it's just like The Walking Dead in the sense that these guys have no qualm with killing people.
The Walking Dead was a little different. It was a survival situation. In this case, what is that noise?
Oh, that's the garage door opening underneath me.
Oh, okay. In this case, it's I think the idea is Omni-Man went crazy and decided that everybody has to die.
Yeah, that's season 1. That was actually one of the best animated superhero fights I've ever seen, even though it was graphic. It dealt with a lot of the tropes that you hear about. Superman would have trouble with Wonder Woman. Batman would be able to do something against everything these guys tried to do. Omni-Man just like took it down and added 12. He did bleed a little. He got a little beat up, but in the end, nobody was a match for him. But at the end of the last the last episode, remember how they were making fun of Serpent Squad?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. They got a new leader who really took it to a new level and like lost several members of the team because they were overwhelmed and got their butts whipped. I'm not going to tell you who died, but it was very interesting.
Well, I mean, the comic book series is already over, so I kind of know how it ends.
Oh, well, Duplicator got crushed to death, like her last one. The fire guy there, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He got. Mm-hmm. And the shrinking girl there, she got killed too. She went into somebody and he tried to eat her, and then she grew in it. She couldn't expand in his body, and he couldn't live with her in there either. So everybody had a grand old time, and it was like shocking because like these were major, like you thought they were going to be sticking around. You thought they were staying. No siree. So it's kind of proves once again, like,
What were they called again?
Serpent Squad, I think. Hang on, let me Google it because now you make me thinking I might not have gotten it right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took out some people though. Oh wait, no. Lizard League, similar to Serpent Society and the Serpent Squad from Marvel. Okay, that's why I got it confused. They're a parody of those two teams, the Lizard League. But they got badass this year or this episode. Although they lost a few too.
Did that episode just come out?
Yeah, like we watched it tonight, Diana and I did.
Okay, I might have to. Which episode was it? What number?
I don't know. It was the latest one, so I think it was season 2, episode 5, maybe.
Okay.
Let me see if I can see it on here. I think if I go with my other browser and I go to Prime, I'll be able to tell you. No, that's the A-Team. All right, let's see. Amazon Prime. I am on time for Amazon Prime. All right, let's go here. Basically, oh, come on. You know who I am. It's making me sign in, guys. What a pain. Then it tried to make a passkey. Golly. I've already got a passkey. Why do I want to make a new one? All right, so this is all Diana's stuff. I'm just trying to get into the video thing, and it made me sign in. It's kind of weird. There we go. In Invincible season 2. The latest episode is 5. Sorry, music. It's called This Must Come as a Shock.
Okay, and did it say what episode number it is? Or when did it? Oh, you said it released today. Was there any?
No, I said I watched it today. I don't know when it released, but I know it was recent because I watched the other 4 and they kind of went on like a small hiatus. I don't know if they're just spreading it out or what they're doing with it, but let's see. If I do this, I don't like the way they have it set up, to be honest with you. Trailer watch list. Action, adventure, drama. They don't make it very easy for me. I don't know why they hate me. There we go. They don't hate me. I found it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's the latest one. It's episode 5, and it's called "This Must Come as a Shock." And then it's just like there's no new episodes after that yet. Like, I don't know if they're doing it weekly now or monthly or how they're planning on doing this, but
yeah,
it's worth the watch if you like the first season. The animators have changed their art style a little.
I think I watched the first 4 episodes. So
yeah, I did too. Diana was relatively Very impressed with the writing, and I was like, yeah, that's Kirkman. Actually, first I couldn't decide if it was Millar or Kirkman, so I looked it up. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Great writing. Not for the weak of heart, and not for the faint of heart, and not for the weak of will, because it's one of those shows that'll drive you crazy as things happen. But one thing about this show that they really didn't have in The Walking Dead is they can bring people back from the dead. Or at least what we would consider dead. They get certain parts, certain things, and they can bring a body back. They can make life happen. There's stuff they do. You'll find out, because there's other things in this episode that are pretty dramatic that I won't reveal, so you'll have some surprises. I don't know. You know what, though, guys? I've been on for an hour 47, so that means an hour and a half if you take out the pre-show, which is kind of cool. I did more time-lapse sketches. I added more. But
I see.
If you pick a song, I'll add it to my pre-show, and if Tim ever comes up with a video, I'll add that.
I sent you some videos. You never added them.
Where did you go, from Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I'll add them. I forgot about them actually. I know what you're talking about. They're in the DMs.
Yep.
Well, you know.
Oh yeah, that's the Keith Morris thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go crash now. I don't even have a thing queued up because I did the playlist straight from straight from YouTube.
You could really save it for like the last part of the like a Friday show, because it goes. It's the weekend. I'm just gonna go off.
Well, you know, I used that one. What's his name? Isn't he from Black Flag? You know the one I mean, right? You must know who I mean.
No.
He went on and on about what came first, rave music and drugs, or drugs and rave music.
The shitty music, or the
yeah, that guy.
No, Keith Morris is another guy.
Yeah, but who is that guy? Do you remember?
Well, that was Henry Rollins.
Thank you. And he was Black Flag?
He was like the last lead singer of Black Flag before they broke up.
Very nice.
This is the one I was talking about right here.
Well, hang on. Don't let this concern you, gentlemen. This is going to kick in, and I can't stop it. I don't know why. There we go. Sorry.
So this clip right here would be perfect for like a Friday night show. Ready?
Is he cussing?
Let's see.
Working Monday through Friday. Here comes Friday night, and I'm just going to go off. I hate my boss. I hate the people that I work with. I hate my parents. I hate all these authoritative figures. I hate politicians. I hate people in government. I hate the police. You know, everybody's kind of pointing the finger at me. Everybody's picking at me. Everybody's poking at me. And now I have a chance to be with a bunch of my own type of people, and I have a chance to go off. And that's basically what it was.
That'd be perfect.
We'll have to work that in.
Yeah, save it for the Friday show.
This is Friday, though.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Technically,
So now
Saturday.
I'm going to play a sketch drawing just to close the show. Do you want to sell Melvin?
Yes, Melvin is available. Melvin #1 special edition is available on Walmart, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and now Powell's. Do yourself a favor and get a copy. Yeah, I said it.
I'm waiting to see if Rick's going to sell anything.
Uh,
Did he just laugh?
go over to my channel. Yeah, I don't get anything to sell quite yet.
It's
In a couple
coming,
months,
folks.
I hopefully will have something to sell.
And right now, the only thing I'm going to be
Canadian
pushing for a little
Shield
while
3
will
is
be-
hopefully being
go
made.
ahead.
I'm sure it's being made.
Yeah, no, Yeah, well, I've got the guy that did number 2. He's now doing stuff for
3.
Yeah.
Very cool. So the only thing I'm doing is pushing the channel right now. So if you're out there and you liked any of this, or even if you hated it, just like and subscribe the video. Your support can be disingenuine. It's free. But I hope it's genuine. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Normally we're not on this late, but it is Friday night. So that's what we do on Friday nights. We just do stupid stuff. So God bless. Have a great time. Tomorrow will be a great show. Something wonderful will happen. You watch. I'm sure. Don't miss out. You don't want to miss it. Yeah.
Good night, everybody.